I am glad for food. It wasn't exactly free, still got to travel, but on the bright side, it wasn't a whole bunch of appointments, 40 to 60 minutes of driving away. It's service here in town, and although I have some food in here that I can't cook, it's alright. There's some of the food that I am able to use. Most of it I can't just because I'm homeless. I don't exactly have a place to cook it. I got a bunch of free straws. These were free. So I color-coded them. And that way I can use them to show some of the stuff that, if I'm going to build something big, I want to make it in miniature first, just to show that it works. When I talk about making a dinosaur costume for Halloween, I'd like to have it done for my birthday, which is October 18th, but no place where I can just sit and take my time and build. Alright, so this right here is it's a 90. It's basically a finger, and it comes around, it's supposed to come around and grab itself, but I, been testing out different parts of it to try different concepts, and being able to put that green straw inside of it makes it so that, I can go ahead and show how it works. Now there's different ways that you can use your body weight to actually control this part right here. Well, this one isn't perfect, obviously. I just made it as an example last night, took about 5 minutes. I got another one here. You can see how it'll bend in different shapes. Also, this one right here is made a little bit differently. Obviously, it goes into that little lightning bolt maneuver there, but also the end of this, because that one was sticking. This is one of the great things about testing stuff out small scale. This one right here, the end is blunted. It was having that difficulty a lot more earlier. So with this one, what I did is I cut the straw off to a point and then taped it off. And that way, it'll actually just be a wedge that goes from one end to the other. Part of the reason for having it so that it goes in there this length, but not quite to the end, is because if you're going to make something that's going to be like a foot, and you're going to have multiple bends in it, and have it be a stilt, you got to have it so that it'll do both. You want to have it so that it'll extend, and it'll also retract. Obviously, this is just to test it out. Yeah, I can grab stuff with this, but alright, let me show you the way that I'm pushing it. I am having difficulties with this one. I put it in my back pocket and I kind of squished it weird, so I had to try to squish it evenly so that it would work, and it's been having issues since. But it's also not something that's like precision made, you know? It's just to test it out. It's just a finger. Obviously, this one, I need to cut it down at an angle like I did to this one so that it'll work smoother. When you have it extended, you want it to be rigid. But when you have it retracted, you want it to be able to rest on the frame of itself. Now, the thing that I designed, what I wanted to do is I wanted to make something that so if somebody's got a screwed up back and screwed up legs, they don't do much further injury to themselves. So what I designed is basically you have the hip bones and the chest of a bird, right? And some bats, of course, as well. They have a completely keratinous or calcified chest plate. It's a full plate. It's not individual ribs. There are individual ribs within, but it's one solid plate. Kind of like your skull is a whole bunch of different parts, but they're all fused into, one skull. So a lot of the stuff that I have, I'll be able to test out concepts with free straws. That's not the only free stuff I got. There's a lot of stuff that was super cheap. Somebody decided to spend some money on me at Safeway. So, well, I was talking about some ideas, I got ideas. And some of the stuff, it's one of those try to be a good old-fashioned American ingenuity kind of person, So I got some stuff that I'm actually going to try out. I got until 10 to try to test them out. I have, all right, let me show you. It's not car insurance, but I guess you have to, if you get a gift card to somewhere, you can only spend that gift card on whatever they happen to have there. So there's some free stuff I ended up getting, just because it's a gift card. Odd, right? Here's one of them. The batteries in here are, it's got an egress and an ingress. That means that it'll suck and blow. I kind of wonder how fast that'll fill up a plastic bag. We might test that out real quick. I don't know. I think for the time being, I'm going to make sure I put it away and set it to the side. Alright, what else was I digging for? God, I got so much crap. Anyway, I got a basic frame here, basically. What I thought about doing is having, alright, I'm not sure how many of y'all have studied the bodies of chickens, or dinosaurs for that matter. If you notice, extending below and in between their legs is a large V-shaped bone. It's huge, and it comes nearly straight up and down, and then it extends forward. And what I was thinking is, if I can make it so that there's a hinge pivot, and make it so that instead of having a chest plate like a bird would have, what you've got is a chest piece that you can lean your body against. And that'll help you to maintain your balance. Also, having a tail is supposed to help maintain the balance as well. And using stuff like that, and I can show you some other stuff that's pretty cool with it. Taking 3 or 4 different straws, I can actually make a tail that'll move the directions that I want it to based on which leg is lifted. And because it'll have a fulcrum and momentum going on, if I lift one leg and it offsets my balance, so I'm going to lean that direction, the speed of the tail moving in the opposite direction will affect that and prevent it from happening as prevalently, which is pretty cool. Kind of like a tail is supposed to work. If they're running slow, the tail can wag back and forth a bit, but if you're running fast, it's slashing fast. Although I've seen some lizards that do the high stepping thing, and it seems like their tail kind of just dances. pointed mostly up in the air. So I kind of wonder what that's about too. Another one of the things that I got is, man, I do have a lot of garbage garbage bags. That's definitely a good thing. I had to buy those though. I don't like having a nasty camp. Plus, I made sure I got enough that if there's any projects that I need that kind of plastic for, I've got it. Alright, so one of the great things about cleaning up the camp up there is sometimes people drop stuff. So right now I'm doing something I'm not supposed to do. Alright, this right here, Tom bought a bunch of plates, and you know, you don't want to carry that stuff when you're on foot, so I ended up with them. That's not a complaint. I'm going to use those for making miniature models to kind of show the concept and to prove that the concepts work. And if I can prove the concepts work, I can probably get somebody to let me try to build there. Alright, so this right here is a floaty bed thingy. It's like 20 bucks, 25 bucks, something like that at Big 5. It was on sale for 12 according to the box. The box was all wet. This wasn't. It's a little bit discolored because it had obviously been sitting for a bit, but not very long. Not more than a few days, because otherwise it'd be covered in dust, and the box would have had a lot more mold or mildew or something like that on it. It gets pretty dewy up there in the mountains. Anyway, this is free. And with that thing, I can actually air this up and deflate it without too much issue. Another thing that I got for free is this Pool Just So Fruity pool set. And according to the sticker that was on it, which I don't know where the sticker went. Anyway, it was like $14, and it actually rang up as $18, and it was only $3.45. Oh, and did I mention I didn't pay for it? So it's got a pretty stuff on it, but I'm going to check out the size on it and the shape and see if it'll work for the purposes as one of my projects that I want to make, because I like to make stuff that's cool and fun to play with. I also like it to have a multiple, use, multiple purpose, functional kind of thing to it. So these right here, even though it's got like fruits and flowers and stuff on it, it's kind of the shape of some of the stuff that I need. I'll have to chop this stuff up, obviously, and it's probably not something that I'm going to try to make a window out of so I can see through it, but I think this will totally suit my purposes. And as it only costs like $3.45, and that was on a Safeway card, that's like a gift card. Yeah, absolutely nothing. It doesn't get my insurance paid, though. There's a lady who wants that kayak that I was given, and if I lose my car, I lose the car and the kayak and my evidence and everything else. I can't have that. So there's a lady who was offering me $100 for it. I told her I would like to get 300 out of it, but I probably won't. And if she's still wanting it, to get a hold of me, and she got a hold of me and said she wants, and that I guess today's her payday. She had contacted me yesterday and also asked for some photographs. I let her know today that I could actually take it off of my vehicle and take photographs of it if she needs. So we'll see what happens. It's heavy duty. It's something that if you lived on the Irish coastline where there's a bunch of jagged rocks in some of them areas, this is definitely the kayak that you would want. It doesn't have any bells or fucking whistles. It doesn't have a goddamn thing special about it, except that it's just gonna take a beating. It looks like something that you could beat with a sledgehammer for a week, and all you would do is break your sledgehammer. Possibly have it bounce off of your boat and hit you in the head, and that probably wouldn't be good. So, yeah, it's a boat that I would recommend not trying to do anything of that nature to. Anyway, I gotta go pee, and then I'm gonna get out. Oh, this is pretty cool too. I should probably put this in as my my hood ornament. This is not going to be anything like what I'm wanting to make, but it's kind of a cool idea. Is this what you were talking about? Well, no, but that's still cool. So we'll see what happens. My mom would tell me I should get rid of that because the devil's in it, because it's a dragon. But if they came out with a skeletal dragon on World of Warcraft, she would totally get one. Just saying. Alright, you know how we end these videos. Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind.